You've been through something this August. You stood at the threshold and watched them leave. You sat in the silence and felt its weight. You carried the worry, the questions that arrived at breakfast, at bedtime, and the quiet between tasks. And now something is beginning to shift. Not dramatically, not all at once, but quietly, the way light changes in the second half of August, when the days begin to shorten and the air carries something different. If you're starting to feel that shift, let's talk about that. Because what's happening inside you right now has a name. It's renewal. And it's not the absence of grief or worry. It's what grows when grief and worry have been honestly named. Renewal does not announce itself. It arrives in small moments you almost miss. The silence that felt heavy last week feels a little more like space this week. Not empty space, inhabited space. Space that belongs to you, maybe for the first time in a long time. You notice it in the new rhythms you're building. A parent pauses at the kitchen table, cup of tea in both hands. No one asking for anything, nowhere to be for just this moment. Instead of filling the silence, they sit inside it. They breathe. They allow the quiet to be restorative rather than heavy. Another parent steps outside after drop-off and walks, not to get somewhere, just to walk, to notice the changing light of August, to remember what it feels like to move through the world at their own pace. These are the first moments of renewal, the moments when identity begins to shift from compression back toward expansion. And then something else happens. You find yourself in a conversation with another parent, and they say something that surprises you. They say they felt it too. The silence, the worry, the strange mix of relief and grief that no one warned them about. And in that moment, the weight you've been carrying becomes something lighter. Not because it disappeared, but because someone else is holding part of it with you. This is what communal renewal feels like. The discovery that your experience is not unusual and not shameful, not a sign that something's wrong with you. It's a universal rhythm of parenting, and it's shared. Across the world, renewal takes its own shape in every landscape and culture. In some villages, parents gather after children leave, not to discuss logistics, but to simply be together, to share tea and stories, the particular relief of a morning that belongs to adults. In cities, renewal might be found in a park bench, a library chair, a quiet corner where a parent sits and remembers who they were before they were someone's parent and discovers that person is still there. In quieter neighborhoods, renewal comes through a garden, a window, a journal open to a fresh page. The landscape's different everywhere, but the emotional movement is the same, from silence and worry towards something that feels, however closely, like hope. Renewal's not about forgetting what August carried. It's what happens when you stop fighting the silence and start listening to it. When you stop carrying the worry alone and start sharing it. Renewal is integration, the slow, quiet work of weaving what you felt into a rhythm you can actually live with. And it grows, not all at once, but steadily in the direction of light. Returning to something you loved before caregiving filled every hour, a sketchbook, a garden, a practice that once felt like yours. It's not indulgence. It's not selfishness. It's the recognition that you're not only a parent, you're a person. And persons need renewal as much as they need anything else. So as you move through this August of shifting light and slowly changing rhythms, I want to leave you with 3 questions, not to answer quickly, but to carry. What's beginning to feel different in the second half of this August? What rhythm are you quietly building that belongs entirely to you? And who might you share your renewal with? whose weight might become lighter because you were willing to name your own. Take care. Stay connected.